Hi there, I'm Nikki, this is Pin Cut Sew, and I have a few new sewing tools to share with you today. I like to make these videos whenever I get a few new things, and today's few new things are all very inexpensive, small but super handy little tools for your sewing room. One of them I actually wanted and couldn't find anywhere, so I made it, and I am going to share it with you, so don't worry. So let's just jump right into it. The first thing I actually shared on last week's video when I was making my hexagons. You can see the tutorial from last week's video, but I ordered a fabric glue stick. It's called the Sew Line glue stick. It's pretty popular. It comes with 3 refills, so it comes with 4 glue cartridges total. And a glue stick is much handier than you might imagine in your sewing room. Once you realize that you can use a glue stick on various things, then you'll start to see even more things that you can use it on. So for example, I recently made a pair of shorts. It's right here. And it has a zipper fly. And I tend to always glue stick my zippers in place while I sew them instead of pinning them. I used to use Scotch tape, but that gums up your needle. The glue stick does not do that. Whenever you have, sometimes when you're like sewing an opening closed and you need the ends to be tucked in perfectly, a glue stick is good for that. Like I did on my recent doll, I sometimes glue the little bottom of her together. Yeah, just all kinds of things like that, but also for these hexagons. I was using an Elmer's glue stick, which does work fine. But Elmer's glue, you know, now it comes like purple. It used to always come kind of messy when I was a kid anyway. It was like white and tacky and messy. But now it comes with this nice smooth purple finish, and it's like too slippery. It's not quite tacky enough until it gets old and used. So I really like this, and also because the Elmer's one is a rounder and a larger tip. So this has a small, perfectly sized tip for sewing. Number 2 is called a bulky seam jumper. It looks like this. I have needed to buy one of these forever because sometimes I just fold up a bulky piece of fabric to stand in for one of these. Did I say it's sometimes called a hump jumper? I think that's really funny. So this is for, you know, have you ever tried sewing something bulky and you're trying to get started, but the presser foot just won't get over the hump and you're like trying to shove it through, which works fine sometimes, but if you're top stitching, then it can just look bad and be annoying. So for example, when I was making these shorts, see these belt loops are sewn onto the outside. So that's a pretty bulky seam right there. With a hump jumper, you put the right size, see it comes with 2 thicknesses. You put this in the back of your presser foot, and it makes your presser foot so it's not tilted backwards anymore, but it's even with the fabric you're about to start sewing onto. And so you can just start sewing and it doesn't get stuck. This is a genius little tool. Everybody should have one. Keep it right next to your sewing machine. I've already used it. I was making this baby bib, which you can find next week. This is next week's tutorial. When I get to these little corners to top stitch, same situation. It's hard to get over the hump. So if I just put the hump jumper behind my presser foot, then I can just get right going when I turn that corner. So that's number 2. Number 3 is more of a replacement tool because I already had this before. This is my favorite brand of quilting ruler. This was the very first quilting ruler I got when I very first started quilting a long time ago. But my husband and I are renovating a house, and quilting rulers are also very useful for laying tiles and getting them straight and even with their other tiles. But you know, when you lay tiles, you get mortar everywhere. And so it was time for me to get a new one. It's called the Olipfa brand. It's called that because it has this little lip edge that hooks to the bottom of your cutting mat so that it's easier to get a straight line. But why I love it also is because the lines are so dark. Like I have a Fiskars brand, I think it's Fiskars brand one, and the lines are really light, so it's hard to even see when I'm cutting. And also a lot of other ruler brands come with an extra 1/2 inch on one side. And I don't know about you, but I hate that feature. I don't want it on any of my quilting rulers because inevitably I will use it backwards and cut an extra 1/2 inch bigger than I needed. So I just get confused. This one is easy. The lines are dark. I also have this 45-degree angle one. I wasn't able to find a replacement for this, but I'm gonna look again. And if I find it, I'll link to this one too. because it's just a perfect size. It's not too long and it has the 45-degree angle. I stuck my sure grip dots to it to keep it from sliding around. I love these. I've talked about these in other videos, but this is a bonus tool. I'll just put it down in the description for you below too. I'm really excited about this one and proud of it because I've been thinking about it for a while and I'm like, why can't I find the exact thing I'm looking for? So whenever I lay out a quilt, it's very easy for me to accidentally get the rows and pieces out of order. So this, usually you've probably seen me in videos before making quilts. I get sticky notes and I write numbers on each one and I just pin them to whatever block comes first. But I wanted something cuter and more permanent. So I made printable little quilt row tags, but not just rows. I made enough for you to label every single block in a quilt up to 12 rows. So do you see they're labeled, my printer tried to eat this one, A1, A2, A3, and then they're all different colors so that at a glance, you'll be able to make sure that you're matching the correct quilt block with its corresponding block. You just print them out 100% scale onto cardstock. What's good about printables is that when they get worn out, you can reprint them again. And then I have this 1.5 inch punch, but if you have a Cricut machine or something, maybe you could figure out how to use that. I'm not sure. Maybe I should try to make it an SVG file too. Let me ask my daughter if she knows how to do that, and I'll try to add that to the listing. So you can go grab this in my shop if you want to, and then I'll link you to a 1.5 inch punch so that you can just punch them out, or you can just cut them out, give them to your teenagers or your kids, and they will have them cut out for you in a jiffy. Then you just need a small hole punch. I have a spring-loaded one, but any small hole punch will do. And then you can just stick a pin into the little holes onto the correct quilt block. These are gonna be so handy for me. I already have this cute little vintage tin I'm gonna keep them in, and they'll always be right at hand. Okay, wait, while I was filming, I remembered I have a 5th tool to tell you about. I don't wanna miss it because these have been really great for me. I was buying rotary blades like one at a time from Hobby Lobby or Joann's, and they're like $9 to $11 for one rotary blade. And then I was finding them needing replaced like a week later. So I went on Amazon and I bought, what are they called? Oh, titanium rotary blades. They look like this. It was a 10 pack and it only cost $11. And they work awesome. This is only my 2nd one. I think I bought these a month ago and I just changed it to the 2nd one. So I'm gonna link you to these because they've been great. There is no reason why one single rotary blade should cost $8 or $9 or $12. Okay, you're welcome. And yeah, I'll be back soon. Be sure and subscribe if you don't want to miss that baby bib tutorial or any other sewing inspo or pep talks that I give here at Pin Cut Sew. And I will see you soon, for real this time. Bye.